Welcome back, everybody. We're continuing the second part of our 9.2 lessons on reference angles. And today we're going to talk about reference angles for negative angle measures. A reminder that negative angle measures are drawn clockwise. And the only other difference is in the way that we use our subtraction to find the reference angle if you're using this table. Or set of steps to do that. Please remember that reference angles are never given as a negative value at this point. So let's try some. I'm going to draw my XY axis. Because we're negative, we're going clockwise. And I'm going to start over here, example 1, the negative 190. So negative 190 is going to be in quadrant 2. It's in between negative 180 and negative 270. About right there. We went like this. All right, our x-axis, remember, is here. Everything gets drawn to the x-axis. So I have a very short way to go to get my perpendicular there to the x-axis. Means my theta, my reference angle, is tucked in there to the origin, always touching the x-axis. And I'm going to subtract. I'm just going to use the positive measures since we know that we only want positive answers. So 190 minus 180 is 10. So our reference angle here is 10 degrees. 10 is acute. It's in between 0 and 90. So we're good. All right. So negative 525 is more than 360. How much more than 360? We're going to go ahead and technically we're subtracting, but because we're working with negatives, it looks like adding. And we get negative 165 degrees. So we're going all the way around and then stopping our terminal side at negative 165. Negative 165 is in quadrant 3 in between negative 90 and negative 180, roughly about maybe right there. So we have going this way, all the way around, and then an extra 165. Our nearest x-axis is here at 180. Reference angle is tucked in there, touching the origin. And the x-axis, always, always, always. To find our reference angle, we're going to use the 180 and the 165. 180 minus 165 is 15. So our reference angle is 15 degrees. 15 degrees is acute. It's in between 0 and 90. So it works. All right, example 3. Negative 300. Negative 300 is in quadrant 1, in between 270 and 360. So maybe roughly about right here. Remember, we went clockwise to get there. Our nearest x-axis is down here to 360. Our reference angle tucked in over here, touching the origin, and the x-axis always, always. So we have 360 minus 300, which gives us 60 degrees. So our reference angle is 60 degrees. 60 degrees is acute. It's in between 0 and 90. So it follows all of our requirements. All right, negative 420. Again, that's more than 360. So we find out how much more than 360 is it, and it's an extra 60 degrees. That means we're going all the way around, and 60 degrees is in between 0 and negative 90. So our terminal side's going to be in quadrant 4. Clockwise all the way around, and then the extra. Our nearest x-axis is here at 0 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and label the 60. And then our reference angle is here, tucked into the origin, touching the x-axis. 60 minus 0 is 60 degrees. So our reference angle is 60 degrees here as well. Alrighty, trying a few more. I'm going to make a new set. Going clockwise because it's negative values. Negative 45. Negative 45 is right here in quadrant 4. Going clockwise. Our nearest x-axis is here to 0. Reference angle theta is there tucked into the origin, touching the x-axis. We have 45 minus 0 is 45. So our reference angle is 45 degrees. 45 degrees is between 0 and 90, so it works. Negative 250. Negative 250 is in quadrant 2 in between negative 180 and negative 270, roughly about there. There's my clockwise to show it's negative. Nearest x-axis is here at negative 180. Reference angle tucked in there to the origin, touching the x-axis. So we have 250 minus 180, which is 70 degrees. So our reference angle here is 70 degrees. 70 is between 0 and 90, so it works. Negative 395, that's larger than 360, so I'm going to find out how much larger is it. 35 degrees more. So we're going all the way around and then an extra 35 degrees, which may be about right here. So clockwise to show I went all the way around and then extra. I'm going to bring my perpendicular to my nearest x-axis. Tuck my theta into the origin, touching the x-axis. And we went from 35 to 0. 35 minus 0 is 35 degrees. And so our reference angle here is 35 degrees. 35 is between 0 and 90, so it works for our acute angle. And that's it for the set of lessons on reference angles. See you next time, everybody.